In your portfolio, large cap funds would surely provide good stability and less volatility. But for better returns, you always need funds with the steroids, that is, small cap funds in your portfolio. So, in today's video, we'll discuss about one of the most popular small cap fund, that is Axis Small Cap Fund, and check its performance using real-time data. And by end of the video, we shall be able to decide whether to continue our investment in this fund or should exit this fund now, and if you decide to exit, then which fund to go with. So please watch the video till the end. Hello everyone, I am Dhaval and welcome to my channel DIY Finance. To start with, we all know that Axis Small Cap Fund has been one of the star performers in its category, that is small cap category. Here we will be taking into consideration data of direct plans only. Firstly, let's look at the basic details like AUM, that is total asset under management, which is around 8,200 crores, which is okay for a small cap fund, but the AUM is rising fast, so need to keep a watch on it. I will talk about this in the later part of the video about the risk associated with the higher AUM. While the expense ratio is 0.37%, that is less than half a percent and quite low as compared to other schemes. The benchmark index, that is the reference against which the scheme is compared, is Nifty Small Cap 250. If you are enjoying my video, then do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Now let's look at the sector-wise allocation. From the table, it is very clear the fund is heavily invested in chemicals and technology. Technology being a core sector and chemicals being an evergreen sector, and quite good performing small size companies for a part of this sector. And when compared to its benchmark, its allocation in both this sector is on a higher side. This can sometimes lead to performance issues when this sector does not perform well. As evident, Galaxy Surfactants and Fine Organics are the main stock of the chemical sector, whereas Birlasoft and Tata Elxsi are the major contributors in the technology sector. Here also, the stock selection looks good. On checking the portfolio allocation, it is evident that the small cap shares for around 50% of the portfolio, whereas mid cap shares form the other 50%, and only negligible 2.13% is allocated to large cap stocks. And with above allocation, the fund is able to provide a very good downside protection during bad phase and also be able to generate a good return with a less risk. The portfolio allocation is quite good and very suitable for long to medium term investors. Mr. Anupam Tiwari has been managing the fund since 2016 and that too very efficiently, and hope that he continues in future also. Here, this long-standing association of the fund manager with the same scheme is quite positive and advantage for the scheme. If you have observed in majority of the schemes of Axis Fund House, the fund managers are having a long-standing association with the scheme, and this is one of the reasons for majority of schemes of Axis Fund House performing well. I would like to add that I am in no way associated directly or indirectly with Axis Fund House. Now let's see how the fund performs on risk parameters. Here we will compare the parameters with the benchmark index and the category average. The first is mean return, that is the average return in a year, which is 31.77, which is more than both the category average and the benchmark. Here the higher the value is better. The second one is standard deviation, that is a tool to measure how much the return has deviated away from the mean return, which in this case is 23.52, and also less than both the benchmark index and the category average. Here lower the value is better. The third one is the Sharpe ratio, that is a tool to measure the risk adjusted return, which is 1.20 here, which is more than both the benchmark index and the category average. Here higher the value is better. The fourth one is beta, that is the volatility of the scheme compared to its benchmark, which is 0.73, which is less than the category average. Here lower the value is better. The fifth one is alpha, that is a tool that measures how much better the fund has performed compared to the category. Here it is 12.57, which is far more than the category average. Here, on all risk parameters, Axis Small Cap Fund performs better than the benchmark index and the category average, which is very positive sign for a fund. So now let's compare the trailing and rolling returns. Yes, the trailing and rolling returns for mutual funds are different, and mostly everyone talks about the trailing returns only. I will make a separate video on this topic as it is quite long and needs to be discussed in details. But one thing is sure, that the rolling returns will give a better idea of the fund performance than the trailing returns. Here we will be considering both the data for the analysis. So on comparing the trailing returns for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year and up to 7 years, it is very evident that it can easily beat its benchmark and category with a good margin. Hence, there seems no worry for the investor as the fund has performed well in long run as well as recently. Now let's also check the rolling returns for 3 years and 1 year. Here, the performance of rolling returns is better than the benchmark and has been able to beat the benchmark more than 90% and 70% respectively during the returns period, which is quite good for a fund. So now coming to the conclusion that what investors should do. First one, the existing investor should continue the investment but keep a close watch on the performance, as the rising AUM of the fund can cause a problem, because as the inflow of fund increases, it becomes difficult for the fund manager to find that many good small cap companies free floating shares due to lower market cap of small caps, which can lead to performance deterioration of the fund. For new investors, they can start new investment as it's a good performing fund, but should also keep an eye on the performance of the fund. I would like to add that I do not have Axis Small Cap Fund in my portfolio, and I am also not planning to invest in it. I will again try to review this fund after 6 to 7 months and check its performance. So stay tuned to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done till now, and also press the like button. To check my older videos, click the attached cards to watch the video. Thank you.